lucky, Kim says. We got very lucky, Kim says.
I did too.
Well, your line, when Sophie took her driver's test yesterday, and she sent me a note saying, oh, no, and those little upside down smile, like the opposite of a smile, a sad face. And I went, oh, no. I was on the phone with Ann. And she answered, she's kidding.
This is a Paul W. Smith virtual Traverse City broadcast on
a moment
News
later,
Talk 760
she was kidding.
WJR.
And Ann said,
this
I've
morning,
had several
Paul travels to
Sophies.
Traverse City. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Wallstrom Marine. Boating made easy. Visit Wallstrom.com to enjoy the water. Here's Paul.
Well, good Thursday morning to you. It is the 18th of June, the 170th day of 2020, with 196 days left in the year. Make each and Rich, I'm just telling you, you're a hit with that rooster coming across there. We have 196 days left in the year, and let me. I guess we have the rooster twice. Let me ask whoever's in charge today, and it's got to be Curtis and his team, why I cannot hear very well. Is there a particular reason? I've done nothing differently, but I can't hear myself through these headphones I'm wearing very well. Is anybody else having any trouble? Probably not.
No.
Anyway, sure we'll get all this worked out. And the team, including the team of our listeners, and for the first 45 minutes of the show, our viewers. But I looked at the sheet, the rundown here, Ann. We have more of these StreamYard, or I like to say barnyard calls. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 today. Are you trying to kill the host, Ann? Are you trying to make the host lose his mind? Let me explain to you, folks. 2 different microphones, 2 different sets of headphones, and a different StreamYard for each one, which means I'm doing my show, and then I have to go down from this StreamYard, start over, start up another StreamYard, and start talking to a guest during a commercial break, which is usually when I smoke a cigar or what. No, I'm kidding. I don't. It's not a lot of time between commercial breaks, but I got my list here. See, I'll show you.
This is a grand experiment.
And I'm the guinea pig. That's the part I don't like.
Unfortunately, you're the guinea pig. I'll hold your hand. I'll help you.
Guinea pig. All right. Okay. But I still can't hear myself well, which is perfect for doing an interview when you can't really hear the person you're interviewing. You guess when they're done talking and when it's time to ask another question. Hello, test. Is this on? 542 at WJR.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Let's check it. Our WJR traffic and weather first, Rich Luzinski.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Celebrate 80 years with Guernsey this summer. It's your local grocer. From their award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, they are a true Detroit summer tradition. Guernsey is excited to announce their newly remodeled restaurant is now open for carry-out and hiring. Apply today at GuernseyFarmsDairy.com. That's GuernseyFarmsDairy.com. No accidents at the moment. Construction closes your right lane on I-75 southbound. That's between Crooks and Rochester Road. And remember, Woodward southbound will be closed from Campus Martius to Larned Street for the Juneteenth celebration. All southbound lanes are closed until Monday at 7 a.m. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Starline Mackinac Island Ferry. Hightail it to Mackinac Island on a Starline Mackinac Island Hydrojet or Catamaran Ferry and new pirate ship, the Good Fortune. Starline offers the largest open-air boats disinfected before every trip with fares starting at $19. Get discount tickets and vacation packages at MackinacFerry.com. Here's your forecast.
Not too bad of a looking day today. Warmer weather continuing to push on in, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Pretty comfortable morning this afternoon. We'll make it to 87. Tonight, clear, 63. Suburbs will be a little cooler. Friday, sun with a few clouds, 86. Saturday, sunny, upper 80s. Late day thunderstorm Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick on News Talk 760 WJR.
In 2005, a bunch of community activists in Berkeley, California, tried to force the local school board to change the name of Jefferson Elementary School. Berkeley was radical, wacko leftist back then, but the idea of getting rid of the name Jefferson Elementary,
Good morning, Paul.
just too extreme.
I was on mute just then.
Yes, there we go. There we go.
Now, how times have changed. Last week, the Berkeley
much
Unified
going on.
School District Board approved a resolution in support of Black Lives Matter. And as a result of the unanimous vote, Jefferson Elementary will get its name changed. Thomas Jefferson is out of there.
Couldn't someone see that I was on mute?
For
That
George
told me?
Washington.
Usually it says mute under everybody's name.
Yeah, but when you
Never mind that
when
George
you mute
Washington
yourself,
was
you're
the
in control
father
of
of
that.
our
You're
country.
the only
Well, I know
one
I
who
can turn it off, but I didn't know it was on.
Change the
Because I
world,
can't hear myself on my
cause of liberty
headphones,
and
so it
freedom of
doesn't.
mind.
If
Washington did
generally I'd be able to tell I
he
wasn't
gave up power.
on the air, quote
Wanted to
unquote.
make you king. He said no. Never mind that Thomas Jefferson's role in writing the Declaration of Independence, his service as our first Secretary of State, or his own historic presidency. Both these guys were slaveholders, and that is enough reason to stamp out their names. Our history means nothing to leftists. The only thing that matters to them is erasing it. They don't know that they really can't.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Just because you can write does not qualify you to be a best-selling author. And the same logic applies to identity theft protection. You may be good at monitoring your credit, but that doesn't make you an authority on identity theft.
We're going to stay on with the
Breaches,
commercials.
your personal information gets in the wrong hands. This becomes complicated stuff. Cyber criminal.
All right. I think when we draw up a manifesto so that we're all on the same page and know what we're doing, that'll help. So we're going to make sure that our listeners can hear Rush, but not any of the commercials, as I understand it. Can you guys hear me now?
Sure can.
Well, I can hear you loud and clear. Ann? We don't hear you.
Now can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
So when we couldn't hear you at all,
I was on mute.
right, but we couldn't hear anything or anybody, like not even the station. So it was like everything was out there. Curtis, do you know why?
I could hear the bed, the music bed. I could hear that,
Okay.
but I couldn't hear Paul because he was on mute.
Interesting. Because he was on mute. Okay. Interesting. And what was Brian hearing?
Obviously nothing, and no one said anything. So I mean, I couldn't tell that I wasn't on because for whatever reason, now I'm hearing a bounce back. But now, anyway, I'm just
Keep your
very low.
on the right-hand side there. You'll see where it says private chat, and that's where Brian is chiming in with various things that you might need to know.
Because apparently he can't talk to you
Yeah,
through
he can't
those
talk to you
headphones.
right now, but he can tell you things in that little chat window there.
So how
keep
do
that
I?
open.
Since I have to choose one or the other, and we're trying to pay attention to our quote unquote viewers while this 45 minutes is on, or the whole rest of the show is going to be on this. You
You have to go back and forth, I believe, right?
yes, because you
That's
can't
another
see
thing
both.
to do, yeah.
And then I would like to have some balls if I could learn to juggle while I'm trying to actually do a show. That would be fabulous.
Oh,
There's got to be an easier way where you just
yes.
throw a switch and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And if that messes, Curtis, if that messes up your, from what I got from our conversation about this yesterday, it messes up your ability to edit these for download later as a podcast or whatever we download these as. I got to tell you, that's not nearly as important to me as the product that we are doing at the time we're on the air doing it. All of that is like, okay, I understand there's some technical issues, but those technical issues shouldn't stand in the way of doing a regular show.
Welcome back to Paul W. Smith's virtual Traverse City broadcast on WJR. This morning's broadcast is sponsored by Wallstrom Marine, boating made easy. Visit wallstrom.com to enjoy the water. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
Well, are we having another beautiful day, weather-wise, otherwise, so that you
Yes.
can enjoy the water? And, of course, Traverse City is beautiful in any weather. And so we're looking forward to a beautiful day, virtually in a beautiful place in all ways, Traverse City. And we'll be visiting with folks from around Traverse City today and some familiar stops, if you will, along the way. In the news yesterday after we got off, I think, was it after we got off the air that Aunt Jemima, that they decided they were going to take Aunt Jemima and update her because they felt it was insensitive, and which led the way to I started thinking, well, what's that going to do to Uncle Ben's rice? Well, Uncle Ben's going away. Mrs. Buttersworth, which I think maybe we talked about this yesterday. I can't remember what.
No, we haven't talked about it. It was after.
We haven't. Okay, so Mrs. Buttersworth and any number of other things that that we were being exposed to, that unbeknownst to white people born with white privilege, we did not know that was making us racist. But apparently, because of the stereotypes that were shown, we were subconsciously being made racist. I don't know if there's a better way to explain that. I did not knowingly say when I'd pour my Aunt Jemima syrup or pancakes that I was continuing a racist myth or whatever about Aunt Jemima. It actually never occurred to me. I was more interested in my pancakes and syrup. But now I'll be more woke. Is that still? Are they still using that ridiculous term? Are they still saying woke? You're woke.
You have to be woke before you eat the pancakes.
I wouldn't ever do it asleep.
Right.
Ever. So, how about that book from what's his name that the president and the courts have rightfully told what's his name he couldn't do that book because he signed a non-disclosure agreement. So the New York Times is helping him out by printing parts of the book. Interesting. Now, from a legal standpoint, Anne, does that get the New York Times in trouble? Not really. Or does it get the author, what's his name, in trouble?
I don't think anybody gets in trouble. I also hear he's going to be doing some big-time interviews next week, too.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
So it'll be interesting.
Anybody who can say they've got dirt on this president will get moved up to the front of the line on any of these television shows.
Yes. So here's a question. Before we went on the stream, you were telling us about your first experience, I think, of going out to eat.
Yeah,
so you've got to tell our listeners about it. It sounds fascinating.
Well, it was fascinating, and it was at a great place, Joe Muir's.
My favorite place. I think that's
downtown.
my favorite restaurant.
It's a great restaurant, and downtown it's a big restaurant. So they were able to, they're able to put the 50% or whatever the numbers are in terms of customers. Everybody had gloves and masks on. All the servers were hyper vigilant. People came into the restaurant. You couldn't come into the Renaissance Center without a mask. And there's a setup where you follow these steps and circles, stand here, be 6 feet apart, and follow these steps. It's really sad, but it's what has to be done, apparently. And then you stand in front of a machine that apparently reads your temperature through your eyes or something. It's like the ones we used to see in Japan. They would just aim at your forehead. I was certain they were stealing things from our minds. But anyway.
Of course you were.
And we laugh now until we find out they've in fact been doing that.
You were right.
Yeah. So, and I said to the guy standing there, his job was to make sure we stood in front of this thing, got our temperature taken. I said, do I have to take my glasses off for this, sir? And like I said earlier, it was as if I asked him to explain quantum physics to me. And finally, the machine said, please take off your glasses. And I went, okay, there's your answer. If anyone else asks, out of the hundreds that you've seen do this today. Anyway, I don't mean to be so tough, but you know.
You're tough.
So
You're tough.
I got, well, if that's all you do all day, you ought to be able to answer that question. But
I
that's,
understand.
you know, that's like standing in line at a fast food restaurant and repeating yourself 4 or 5 times, and they get the order wrong anyway. Damn it, they want $15 an hour or 25 or whatever the latest figure is to make them whole.
All right. Now, what about, so did you have paper menus?
Paper menus, so they get rid of them right after you use them. They're thin paper, so you know that they're not using them over and over again. The menu was the same. It was fabulous. That's such a good restaurant. You know, and I did mention that his other restaurants, Andiamo's, are letting dads eat free Sunday on Father's Day. So if you go there with a family, dad gets his entree or whatever is free. I thought that was very cool.
That's excellent.
But Joe and Rosalie are very active in Variety, the children's charity, with Kim on the board, and they're just good people. And you know, we talked about our kids and how much of what we do our kids have seen. A lot of times the kids haven't seen the kind of struggle and work that you have done or that I have done to get where we are today. They kind of see where we are today and think, oh, that's cool. Right. They didn't see me work. I didn't work 3 jobs at once, which I did for years. I didn't work, well, they've been alive in 2 different states every week for a year and a half. I worked in New York Monday through Friday and in Detroit Saturday and Sunday, got back on a plane. You know, it's before we could do any of this stuff virtually, as we are now virtually in Traverse City. So it's kind of interesting because in his case, he's got this beautiful business that, you know, he's got to see if his kids want to work that hard as they'd have to take over that business and keep it going. Because
restaurant work is tough. That's a very tough business.
It's holidays. It's 7 days a week. It's mornings, noons, and nights. It's tough. That's a tough one. But he's done very well. He's worked very hard. He and Rosalie. He also works with his wife, as I do with mine. And it's just, they're such nice people all the way around. Nice people.
Wonderful, yes.
We've got some nice people we're going to meet today. Tom Irvin, Kevin Klein, Mike Lang, Mike Busley, Kate Conlon, and Joel Shoemaker. All of these people are going to be on the radio with us and on social media with us and on camera with us with StreamYard, or like I say, Barnyard. It is 5:58 at WJR.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Let's check it with Rich Luzinski, our WJR traffic and weather. First, Rich.
Fortunately, still no accidents. Construction closes your right lane on I-75 southbound between Crooks and Rochester Road. And Woodward southbound will be closed from Campus Marshes to Larned Street for the Juneteenth celebration. All southbound lanes are closed until Monday at 7 a.m. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Sponsored by the Restore Wellness Center. Tired of dealing with nagging body pain, scar tissue, improved blood flow, nerve function, and muscle stimulation? The Restore Wellness Center will reduce or eliminate the pain completely. Reserve your appointment today at the state's best non-invasive laser therapy treatment center. Call 800-935-5959 in Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or restorewellnesscenter.com. Clear skies at 63 degrees. I'm Rich Buzensky, WJR News in 1 minute.
So there's no way that I can switch over to my regular microphone and headphones because you wouldn't hear me during these breaks. But when I am doing my interviews and on the air, wouldn't the person on the other end on StreamYard hear me because in fact I am on the air? I guess that's a Curtis question.
That's a Curtis or Brian question.
Oh, I'd have to look over to the side, see if Brian's yelling at me here just a second.
Do you think he'll use all caps if he's really irritated?
I don't think he does that so much. We had a beloved salesman who apparently did not know that if you write in all caps, people take that to mean you're yelling at them. I don't think Art ever felt that he was yelling at us.
No.
I don't think he knew how to get it off caps.
I think that's the more likely scenario.
That's my guess. I'm just saying. All right, I got to find
right. I sent you the information that you asked for.
Oh, you
at
did?
1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, good.
Well, I just sent it this morning. You asked for it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I did ask for it at 1 o'clock in the morning because I was putting my thing together and I went, I don't have any backup information on these guys.
Yes, Susan Wilcox Olson came through and sent talking points for each person in one document, which is really great.
Oh, that'll be helpful. Yeah. So
yes.
Look around for it. There's something I'm looking for that was very important, and you'll see why when you hear the topic.
Is it for the roundtable?
Yeah, it's for us. And I'm still not, I know people want to hear us talking. But I keep thinking they also tune in for the excellent way that, in this case, Dick Hafner does the news.
Yes. Well, on some of the chats yesterday, I go back and I chat with all of our people who check in.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are using two different devices.
Oh,
so they're watching us and they're also listening to the news on the side.
Oh, good. Okay.
And they get a kick out of the behind the scenes conversation on
yes,
what we're up to.
It's priceless. And look at
it can be.
Look at the Richmeister. He's cooking right now.
What's he making?
It looks like he's making a protein shake or.
Oh, he's making it.
Become so enamored with Guernsey Farms by doing all those reads.
Oh. What do you
I
make?
can't start my day without a Guernsey Farms milkshake now. So
you are so. You know what,
Rich?
You bring a lot to the table, my friend.
Well,
yes,
literally,
you do.
You really do bring a lot to the
On top of
table.
doing a great job on traffic too, Rich.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
So now, Rich, a milkshake. Wow, it's just too little early for a milkshake.
Doesn't look like it's too early for a milkshake.
It's never too early for Absolpure. It's never too early for a milkshake.
Oh, okay.
This young man has it all
very
together.
Smart on your part.
He has it all together.
I'm going to make a smoothie with coconut milk,
yes,
protein powder, a frozen banana.
I'm going to promise you something.
Yes.
I will never say never. And I used to have a television show every day, and I did do cooking on the television show with chefs and other people.
Right.
But my best guess is you will not see me bring out all that stuff to my desk here in my office and cook anything while we're on the radio. I'm just guessing. I never say never, but
you kind of have your hands full. I don't think that would be the right thing for you to do. You're too busy.
That and dashing down to the Fisher Building to continue washing the windows, because that's a never-ending job.
Can you imagine what they look like now?
As a reference to you guys being at Mackinac Island.
So what kind of, it's Mackinac fudge ice cream in there?
Yeah, it's delicious. Guernsey Mackinac Island fudge.
Man,
I've had that. It's really good.
you are living the life.
Wait,
Yeah,
do you have,
Rich Meister, you are living the life.
wait, do you have milk in there, Rich?
Yeah, I saw him pour the Guernsey Farms milk in. Right there it is.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, too bad we all couldn't have some of that right now.
Brian is wondering now, what's that noise?
See, now Patrick
Brian,
says now he
talking
wants
about-
ice cream.
Talking about juggling things, Brian's juggling like crazy. And, you know, he takes to that very well. He nothing phases Brian.
What does frappe mean?
Frappe?
Yeah, what does frappe mean?
I don't know.
Apparently it's
All right. So Kim has noticed, I have not, but she has noticed that you went from featuring Liberace to Bette Midler behind you. You can't pull these things on Kim. I'm not paying attention because I'm actually asleep right now. But I see Liberace now that she's mentioned it, and then Bette Midler is right behind you. Is this is it Gay Pride Week? What is it? Is it? I thought that was last week.
it is Gay Pride Month, actually.
Oh, it's the month. That's why. Okay, all right.
But these just happen to be people that I admire. If you see Liberace, it's a motivational poster. It says, "Nobody will believe in you unless you believe in yourself."
That's true too.
Lee. That's what his sister called him, Lee. 'Cause
So
I interviewed his sister in Las Vegas, and P.S. she assured me that he was not gay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's his sister, for God's sakes.
So the definition of frappe is a drink that is iced or chilled.
Oh my goodness.
So I think this could be a frappe for breakfast.
Now, I'm sure this was wrong because everything we learned in school was wrong and racist, but there used to be a belief that you didn't bring things like this out to Rich unless you had enough for everybody. I'm sure that's wrong and we were misled and it's affected us madly, but I mean, I do remember that. Anyone else remember that? You don't
Yes, I
bring
do.
that
I
unless you have
remember that.
something for everybody in the class.
But now,
Virtually, I think.
isn't
All
it
right.
funny though? This shows why advertising works because it's the power of suggestion. I would not be thinking about a milkshake right now. And
Yeah.
now Rich has made this fabulous milkshake and you think, oh, boy, does that sound good?
It
Wonderful.
does sound very good. Sounds perfect.
Yeah, it sounds perfect, huh?
Trish, Ron, Clay's back with us. Patrick, Don, Thomas, Steve, Bill, Ron, Clay, Dominic, Bill, Thomas Geyer, Dominic Sabatini, Bill Cox. Clay, is it jerk or jerky? I never know. Clay's with us all the time. And they did get Rush, he was assuring us. Thank you. Patrick Mendez, Ron Becker, Emily Gale back in Hawaii again watching us. Hey, I could hear myself for a moment through my headphones better. I don't know what happened.
Morning,
This
Cindy.
is a Paul W. Smith virtual Traverse City broadcast on News Talk 760 WJR. This morning, Paul travels to Traverse City. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Wallstrom Marine. Boating made easy. Visit wallstrom.com to enjoy the water. Here's Paul.
All righty, and a very good Thursday morning to you. It is the 18th of June, the 170th day of 2020. There are 196 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And for those of you watching at home, we're going to have a lot of the show available on video, social media, pictures, on camera. It's not video, it's live, and we're live on 760 on the AM dial. And for the best experience now, probably you should be listening to the radio and watching on social media, although you can hear us on social media as well. The team is here. Dick Hafner just concluded his newscast and is already working on the next one. Brian Morton is in the control room juggling. Mike Kim is here helping alongside, as she always does. The Rich Meister, Rich Luzinski, is checking out traffic and weather, and he's in for Dana. That's Rich in for Dana. We still don't know how he does this with these. He clearly, wait a minute, you're at the radio station. We never had the capability of printing things like that while we were in the building. I'm sure things that I printed for the show are just now coming through, and I haven't been in the building in months. So anyway, and our executive producer, Ann Thomas, also
Good
at
morning.
home.
Good morning, Dub. Happy Friday Eve.
Oh, that's right. It's Friday Eve.
Yes.
It's Friday Eve. See, there it is. Do you see it? It's there. The Richmeister is on top of all of this stuff. You get the award for giving a great deal of thought and being, I'm going to say it, maybe best fill-in ever.
Oh,
Can I say that? Yeah.
I think so, too.
I think so. I
agree.
mean, you bring a lot to the table here. You have lots of props, and let's face it, the one thing radio really needs the most are visual props.
Right.
Yeah, as we go into the abyss. You know, I loved watching them on the radio. That was the best. Yeah. And that developed later into something I think we called television, but I don't know. I'm not going to question technology today. But here's something that I find to be very interesting. It actually goes back to Grandpa Harry again, who lived to be 100 when it wasn't popular to do that many, many years ago. Now, we've all heard the argument about men not putting the toilet seat back down. Have we not?
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I have always put the toilet seat and the lid back down because that's what Grandpa Harry wanted us to do, and it made sense to me. Think about it. There'll be never toilet lidders down, just like there are never maskers. There'll be people who say, I'm not putting the toilet seat down. Well, or the lid. And they live alone, and that's why. But so you have to understand, with that lid down, nothing can fall in the toilet. All the stuff that's near the toilet and on shelves and sinks, and inevitably, something finds its way in the toilet that shouldn't be there. There are only a few things that should actually ever be in a toilet, and I think you know what they are. So if you have the lid down, nothing's going to fall in by mistake. But here's the medical reason now.
Yes, I heard this.
You've got all of the things that we were supposed to do with the masks and the hand washing and the social distancing and all of that. The newest thing is to put the toilet lid down, because when you flush, and we've heard bits and pieces of this before, we were always told we were adding to the air pollution, for lack of a better way of putting this in a tender kind of way, sensitive way. But the new study shows the turbulence from a toilet bowl can create a large plume that can carry coronavirus particles to a bathroom's next visitor. So, I'm sorry. I don't make this up. These are things that I find and tell you because it could save your life. So from now on, let's all decide to always put not just the seat down for the next lady to come around, but to put the entire lid down. Now, I know there are toilets without lids. Very disconcerting. Public toilets often don't have lids.
Right.
So you gotta, I guess what you do is you hold your breath, flush, and get the hell out of the stall. That's all I can think of. But I just think, my little Kim couldn't help herself. She just made me a little milkshake.
Oh, isn't that nice?
A little, because of the Richmeister. Look at this, Rich. A milkshake very similar to yours.
Oh, let us cheers one another.
Yeah.
Cheers, Paul.
All right, let me.
To Guernsey Farms.
Oh, to Guernsey Farms. A little chocolate in there, a little this, a little of that.
Wow.
Wow. This is living. This is living high on the hog, or in this case, high on the cow. It is 6:13 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by California Closets. California Closets clients can now enjoy a virtual design consultation. Save 15% off your custom solution plus. No payments for 12 months. Call 248-624-1234 today for your virtual design consultation or visit californiaclosets.com.
Oh, that's good. Let's check it with the Rich Meister. We've got our WJR traffic and weather first at 6:14. Rich.
We have an accident on I-94 westbound at 9 Mile, causing stop traffic from I-696. Folks are actually being forced to exit off the freeway, so avoid that area if possible. Construction closes your right lane on I-75 southbound between Crooks and Rochester Road.